Um, we added, players from all over the country. Um, I think we improved a team that was young last year, a very strong team. We finished 6-1 down the stretch last year. We played a lot of freshmen and sophomores. 11 of them got young underclassmen got considerable minutes. We're a lot better. I've been working this spring semester here and gotten better, and that's why we had a few junior college transfers come in. We feel like we could be back on top of the conference this fall with almost every player returning from the roster. Jamie McFarland comes back from redshirting. We wanted to make sure she graduated on scholarship. So instead of playing 4 years and then coming back for a 5th year, she sat last year and now she's going to graduate this fall. We added Kayla Howard from Yuba City High. I used to coach at Yuba City High back in the day, and Kayla Howard played for the powerful San Juan Soccer Club, and they're clearly the top soccer club in Northern California. They're a part of the ECNL, the Elite Clubs National League. Kayla's a tiny midfielder, but absolutely blazing explosion. She darts all over the field and she can finish from anywhere. Megan Kawahara from SoCal Blues. It's probably the top club in the country. They're from Southern California. She can play pretty much anywhere, all 5 midfield positions plus outside back. The thing that sticks out with me with her is she can tackle, and if she wants to get to the ball, she'll go right through you to get to it. She's a lot like Lexi Kidd, and I think we missed Lexi last year, and getting a kid that's like her is going to help us out. We can put her outside back and she will eliminate a striker. She's very much shut down, and she's a huge addition. And also just, being from SoCal Blues is also a huge addition. Maybe we can get into that club. Cassidy Watkins is a center back from Utah, played for La Roca Soccer Club, another one of the top clubs in Utah. Went to see her a few times. Very good defender. She can play right away. And it's good to get her too, because we've got a lot of seniors on our back line, to start building for, the future seasons. We added 3 junior college kids. Carissa Schlesinger from Sierra College in California. She's a New York kid. She's 2-time All Big 8. That's the top junior college conference. That conference, 8 years in a row, has sent 7 of its 8 teams to the playoffs. So, she's played in good games every single game. A lot of times you get the JUCO kids where they play in a good game every once in a while. She has got good vision. Historically, one of our biggest Achilles has been able to make the last pass, and she certainly can do that. Alexa Lonsdale is going to be a junior coming in from Miramar College. Miramar's went to the Elite 8 last year. She's the fill-in-the-gaps player. She does all the dirty work. She's a tackler, a ball winner, a lot like Tara McPartland. We lost a couple years ago off the championship team. Alexa will she'll do damage in our conference, and she'll play a lot of minutes. The highlight of our class is Ninfa Ramirez, striker from Miramar College. She scored 56 goals in the regular season for Miramar Jets, Elite 8 player, All-American. She is the #1 offensive threat coming out of junior college this year in the country. She can beat people 1v1. She is unbelievably fast, and she is a really hard tackler. She's good in the air. She heads the ball in. She scores in a million different ways. She's got an unbelievable vertical. She's short, but gets up in the air. She's really strong on the ball, hard to take it from. She can hold the ball and let other people run. She can turn defenders and run at them. She's a program changer, much like Zoe Fisher. Maybe not quite as top end as Zoe in speed, but probably a little bit better of a finisher. and I look forward to that combination of those two. So that's our class right there.
Was offense something you were looking at to try to build? It sounds like your midfielders and the strikers, that's the kind of area you were looking at.
You know, last year I just felt like we had our whole back line back. You know, we had like a whole bunch of sophomores on the championship team, and our back line wasn't as successful this year. And when we went back over the video, they were attacked in too many different ways. Where the year before, we had all those seniors, and we kind of funneled what people did. And you know, I think this year, you know, we added a lot of offense, but we also added, you know, the ability to defend up front better, if that makes sense. You know, I just felt like we were defending on the dribble, we were defending long balls, we were defending people attacking us from the, you know, from left to right. You know, it was the year before we forced everyone into flighted balls. You know, we had our pressure was much higher, and we had you know, we were from point A to point B a lot faster. We were younger this last year. I think a lot of those girls got better, but those three starting midfielders, one of them averaged over 90 minutes a game, which means she played almost every minute. You know, with the 7 overtimes. My goal is not to go to overtime like we did 2 years ago. We went once the whole season. I think we definitely added depth to the group that's coming back, and we don't have to play 105 minutes in a game, you know, to grind out a win. And I certainly want to help our back line out by forcing people to play one way against us again. And that was the biggest issue. And then because we defended too many ways, we didn't have the ball enough, if that makes sense. And I think this group here helps us keep the ball. It helps us in the end game on the field, the last pass, and then we've got the great finisher. You know, we haven't had the great finisher here. You know, Zoe is the person that does all the legwork and creates goals, you know, but doesn't necessarily get all the goals. Her value is measured differently, and I think Zoe, you know, and Nifa together bring a championship punch. No one in the conference will have a 1-2 punch like that. So,
how many of these girls are you expecting to play right away next year?
At least 4 of them should get significant minutes next year. We're looking to redshirt Cassidy with all the seniors on the back line. Even though Cassidy can walk in as a freshman and probably play a level with them right away. But we've got a kind of a complicated back line, so it's nice to teach that to a kid for a year. You know, all the junior college kids we brought in to, you know, to play immediately and to add an impact to our team. You know, we redshirted girls last year. We redshirted Jamie Ayala, who was one of the top scorers in JUCO last year, and she'll be playing this fall. We really are loading up for this 2014 season. That's why we got the 3 JUCO kids we got. And we'll probably be adding 3 more in the next few weeks. Not necessarily JUCO kids, but 3 more players.
How lucky do you feel to get a player like Nifa? What do you think convinced her to come to Minot State?
You know, our players, really. She took visits to a couple Division I schools, and she chose us, and I honestly believe it's the, you know, the players on our campus that do a good job of helping out and knowing what it takes to win. And you know, one thing though is all 6 girls we got are quality kids, and I think they fit into the program. You know, our retention's was a lot better this year from the, you know, the couple of years when we recruited during the transition, and I think we've got a good idea of the personalities that just kind of fit, you know, me and the girls on the team. You know, they're all kind of hard-nosed kids. Nifa really liked that. She liked just the want to win out of the girls. and then they made her feel like she was part of the family, when she was on her visit. And I think that made a big difference, to get a kid like that.
Thanks, guys.